Throw the smoke! I'm pressing the button over and over again. I'm trying to survive against like 9 people. I'm round the corner on that second bit of bullet damage, man. He wasn't looking at me!
This is a problem, a massive problem, and it's not the only one. We need to talk about it right now. Use EA supporter creator code GetGoodGuy when purchasing EA products. Battlefield 6 has very good bones. There's a game inside all of this that I truly believe can be very good, but there are serious issues at release that are hugely hurting my enjoyment of the game, and judging by my stream chat, YouTube comments, and general discussion on social media, it may well be the same for you. You can let me know in the comments, of course. The gunfights are a mess, to put it very simply. We've waited a long time for this game to save us from Battlefield 2042, so it's a real shame to be dealing with this.
No! Netcode!
And this is only the first problem we're covering today. It's a good time to say thanks for all the recent subscribers, and if you'd like to subscribe today for more content like this, then great, I appreciate you boosting me towards 100,000 subscribers finally. Thank you very much. So, what's causing this specific problem? Well, it seems to actually be a mixture of elements. Some of this being speculation and other aspects having been confirmed. Hit registration issues are being investigated currently, so we hope for an eventual fix. Essentially, it's felt by many that the rounds simply don't land damage consistently, that each time you fire a bullet at someone, you have to roll the dice and hope you'll get the desired outcome of hurting the enemy, and thus standing a chance of killing them and staying alive. It's like stacking layers of issues, because I strongly feel that the netcode overall is just bad, that there can be way too large a desync between your perspective and the enemy perspective for it to be acceptable.
I'd love to watch that back.
You can only react to what's happening on your screen, so if you outplay the enemy from your perspective and then still die because the game basically took the option away from you to win, that's infuriating. Not so bad now and again, but wildly maddening if it happens all the time. Again, on this one, please let me know what you think. Do you feel like you die when you absolutely shouldn't because you suddenly get melted by a player when you're certain you 100% should have had the kill? Because I feel like that a lot on BF6. I've been complaining about netcode, desync, and enemy ping issues for years now across the Battlefield franchise, and I think it's simply time this was solidly improved. I hope you feel the same way. As a caveat, I also feel as though it's an issue that gets worse as I play. I'll generally start my stream killing lots of people and having very few issues with this, and then after a while this dissipates and I start to get wild deaths. Pretty much every day this happens so far. So is this memory leak? What's the theory? If this is actually happening, it again desperately needs fixing up. We can't be guessing when to restart our games just to try to get it to function properly again. If you throw that in with how fast the time to kill is in this game, and how the time to death can seem even faster due to the desync, server tick rate issues, or whatever is happening, absolute insta-deaths are common. No time to react, and often no real reason to risk moving around, which makes even more people play passively, which makes it even more punishing if you do want to play Battlefield in the normal, more progressive fashion that you've perhaps done in previous games.
See, that's what I want to be able to play like that. I want to play expansively. And when the netcode's balls, I can't do that. Like, that's what I want to do. That is what I want the gameplay to be like. But when I'm getting, like, melted in a split second because of netcode, I can't do that stuff.
Having a few gunfights not go your way in a round, if it is just a few, because of this, can completely alter the overall outcome of the experience. Like, 4 deaths instead of 4 kills is a huge swing. It also took away the opportunity for you to potentially get more kills in any of those 4 lives, in this example. Not to mention being useful for your team, capturing objectives, reviving squad mates, and so on. This hurts FPS games. This kills the experience. It leads to a distrust of the game and an unwillingness to fully engage with it. If you don't have faith in a reasonable outcome for the gunfight, you can never fully enjoy and let yourself become immersed. Having this kind of issue at launch sours the tone for many. If players feel cheated out of the right results, they might well decide it's not worth their time eventually. But that's not all for gunfight issues, because spray spread or bloom is affecting them to a truly monolithic degree right now. The bullets fly everywhere, especially when you move, and there should be movement penalties, but not like this. Not where I simply don't trust the rounds to go anywhere near the target. Not when we aren't allowing a shotgun blast to land from a meter or two away because of running or jumping or sliding. It's a shotgun. We can't have this be an absolute no movement shooter. It's an arcade game, not a milsim. And of course you can burst fire with some guns, I do and you should too, but the requirement to burst is way too high currently. Now thankfully bugs and issues for spread and bloom are being found and fixed as we speak. This seemingly will not remain an issue to this degree for long, which is great stuff. Elements of it will have been fixed by the time some of you get to this video. The devs are actually listening. They are trying extremely hard to get this all right. I commend them for their genuine interest in this being a truly great game, and it must be said this Battlefield is a very good release when compared with a lot of the release issues we experienced within this franchise on prior Battlefields, which is somewhat of a backhanded compliment, but it's still worth stating, and I do have almost complete faith that this game will be very good when tuned up and tweaked. But while we're listing issues, let's keep going. What's an issue that's one step down from the problem status so far, but still important? Aim assist. This is an issue that has also been reported and is being altered, with the beta aim assist soon being available apparently. But at the time of making this video, the advice for controller players is to turn down your aim assist slowdown and aim assist snap. Lower them a little or lower them a lot. Just start testing and tweaking where you want it if you're struggling to get your aim onto the target. The aim assist bubble is too large and too strong, meaning controller players simply have no consistency with dragging onto and staying on the target. A total mess, and something I was very disappointed to experience in this release build when there were no such issues on the beta, which is kind of a consistent thread with this video and why I sound like I'm actively complaining. The purpose of this content is to provide feedback and also inform you guys, but I am also frustrated because a lot of problems were not evident in the beta and didn't really need the alterations that have brought it to this point. You can't catch everything, but some of these things really shouldn't be here. So I feel like this launch could have been a whole lot more fun and a lot smoother. The beta was better. Most people preferred the beta. Alas, hopefully it's all much better soon. So what are the other problems? Well, there are a few much less major ones. Let me just run through them. Weapon balance. From my experience so far, again feel free to give me your feedback, but also from speaking to other people, rate of fire seems pretty integral. A good damage model on a gun that fires quickly is just the way to go, somewhat regardless of range. There might be an outlier here and there, but overall it feels as though the slower firing and lower damage profile weapons just aren't that good. There isn't a real reason to use most of them, so I'd like that tweaked. Next, the brightness and contrast is just insane. The sun is turned up to 11. Looking out ahead of you is just way too hard on some maps. I do have a video which helps you to see the enemy more clearly, and it has helped a lot of people, but we still need a fix to this problem. I'll link to that video in the description if you want to see it. But combine this with the wild time to kill or time to death, the netcode and all the stuff from earlier, it creates a mentally fatiguing experience of having to risk life and limb so often without the tools you need to be able to actually make informed decisions, to then be blasted in a split second and have to do it all over again. I've seen so many posts online about the game just making them tired. The gameplay loop is too punishing right now. I've also seen the return of the sweet spot being complained about, especially in conjunction with the rangefinder attachment for snipers. I didn't mind the sweet spot in Battlefield 1. It's a game where there's no crossplay, but in Battlefield 6 there is crossplay, and the sweet spot is just one of a few reasons why I don't feel like turning crossplay back on. A mouse can be so much more accurate, and a sweet spot mechanic on a sniper rifle just seems to lean way too heavily towards rewarding one input method. It apparently is also just very abrasive to deal with on PC, according to some at least. Again, give me your feedback. At least partially due to players binding the rangefinder to the same input as hold your breath, and then just clicking people with a mouse for easy kills. Next is that the grind is just too slow. Unlocking weapons via leveling or just some of the insane challenges is being complained about a lot, but even more so is the grind to unlock attachments. There are a lot of guns and a lot of attachments, and an element of feeling rewarded and earning things is great, but the general feeling right now is that it's all too slow, and I don't really disagree. It could be tweaked. A side point is that the XP boosters and hardware boosters shouldn't be timed via real world time passing. They should only be ticking down when you're actively in a round. I just think that's a bad decision. It wastes boost time waiting in menus and matchmaking. And what has this all resulted in? Somewhat of a repeat of the issue in Battlefield 2042. The portal is is awash with XP farming lobbies. The portal is such a cool feature with so much potential, and it's just chock full of bot lobbies. And mentioning bots, killing bots counts towards your profile stats, which renders it somewhat pointless. KD or kill death ratio is listed on that page, and it takes into account bots you kill in the initiation mode, for example, which has mostly bots in it. So that stat is pretty pointless when you know there will be people just artificially boosting it. I also no longer seem to be able to spot enemies when I'm downed, correct me if I'm wrong. Marking flags is unnecessarily difficult.
I just want to mark the damn flag. Thank you. What? Mark the flag! Mark the flag! Oh my god, are you... Thank you! Jesus Christ!
And something I have brought up before, and you currently can't request a squad order to get your squad leader switched if they're doing a bad job of marking objectives. So if you get a bad squad leader, you either have to move squads or just suck it up and accept that you aren't going to get the points that you really should be. This is a standard feature for Battlefield. I don't really know why it's not in this game. I'm also pretty tired of pressing buttons multiple times before it works. As you saw a tiny bit at the start of the video, if I'm in a rough spot and I need to kill an enemy, duck down, throw a heal bag, throw my smoke, reload, then pop back up to engage another enemy, which I can do, I've been doing this stuff for a long time, I'm just gonna die if I have to press the heal bag twice, the grenade 4 times, and reload twice. So I'm just unable to make some cool and creative plays a lot of the time because I'm either getting insta-melted by netcode and a wild time to death, missing shots from insane bloom and spread, or getting wiped out because my button inputs feel like being lazy today. And the user interface. I prefer it to BF 2042. I've given it a little bit of credit for that in a previous video, like specifically when it comes down to the in-game HUD. I put it above BF 2042 for that reason, but the menus are bad. They just are. The general menus and especially the settings. No wonder the average player just feels overwhelmed when they need to do their settings. There's a million of them, which can be good, but they're laid out in such a haphazard way. So overall, I'm frustrated, but I'm hopeful. I really am. This game is leaps and bounds ahead of BF 2042, and my content up to this point has been very positive. I'm very excited for the future, and the release is good when compared with other Battlefield titles, but these issues are significantly affecting my enjoyment of the game and causing me to stream for a smaller amount of time each day. I absolutely think it's worth talking about, and I'm pleased to report that some of the significant ones are either fixed or are being fixed or are at least being acknowledged. That is promising. So let me know your complaints or what you like about the game if you want. Thanks to those of you who are supporting on Patreon for build guides such as this example on screen right now, plus other tips and stuff, or just supporting the channel to keep me doing this. Thank you very much. Link is in the description. There's also channel memberships. Thanks also for all the new subscribers as we finally power towards 100k, and me giving my dad a YouTube plaque, which will be a great moment, so thank you for your sub. And YouTube is now suggesting another video of mine that it thinks you'll like. I'll see you over there.